Hello and welcome back to Stationeers. I'm Rob, and today we're back here on Mars on our testing facility. I've laid out, as you can see, the basic or the parts we will need for a rocket. Here we have all the parts to build the actual rockets. Over here we have the fuel and some controlling parts to do it. Control, IC chips, switch, so on. Now, what is all this stuff? Well, the launch pad is the foundation of a rocket. Without that, you cannot have the rocket built. The next thing is the engine. The engine is, of course, the throttle, the liftoff, the actual power to get off the ground. Second, or third, we have the fuel tank, which is always connected to the rocket engine to give it the fuel to take off. This is where our gas will go into to get it some boost. Now, from there, as you can see, I've laid it out in a split kind of way. On this side we have rocket cargo and rocket command. These two could be used if you want to go from Mars to, let's say, Venus or to any other planet. You'll use these two. We're not going to do it today because today it's all about the automated rocket. So we can throw those two away for now at least. Don't really need them. Over here we have the entire line of what you could use to make an automated rocket mining a thing, so you can mine whatever. So first off, we have two different modules here. We have ice mining, which mining ice, as you can tell. Secondly, we have a gas mining, which is again just collecting the gases. I don't particularly like this one because I find it a bit odd, especially with the phase change. It's just not useful. But if you chose to use that one, you would use a fuel tank to store the gas in. Don't like it. I prefer the ice because then you can separate it afterwards. Then we have a coupler. Now, if we remove the gas tank, the gas mining, because yeah, those two are kind of the same thing. Then if you just went for the ice mining, which is what we'll do today, you would need a coupling between the ice mining and the silo, or the storage unit, as you could also call it. We will be referring to this from now on as a storage unit because it will be storing stuff. Now, the coupling is a chute, technically, that will be pointing from this one to this one in whatever pattern you laid out. On the other side, again, we have a coupling. So in matter of fact, this could all be one rocket, and then you can pick whatever, and you can use the same silo model. We could use coupling to then point from any of these two down to the silo, down to the storage unit. On this side, you have a salvage, which basically collects scraps. So whatever scrap you find in space could be collected by this one and put to good use on your base. And by scrap, I mean everything. It can find plenty of things. You can't control what it finds, but it just finds whatever junk is out there. And I think it's a complete random pattern or something. And then you have the ore mining. Now, on normal rocket, I would say that the ore mining and the ice mining are the two go-to units. The last thing is the brain. It's the rocket automation module. Without this one, you will not go anywhere. So that is how you could sell a rocket. What we're going to do today is we're going to build 3 rockets. So 1, 2, 3. 1 for ice, 1 for ore, and 1 for scrap. They will be completely identical. They will even be using the same code without changing any parameters. How I can do this is by using a specific IC chip code, IC10 code that I've made, which is right here. So this code, the only thing I will be changing, sorry, I did say not change anything, but the only thing we're changing is the names. So these names, so here, here, and here, will be referring to that specific rocket's thing. So we have the mixer, you have a storage, you have the mode, and you have the fuel, storage, and minimal. And this one is all in the D's. So you technically don't need them if you don't want it. I just, like this one, you might not need at all. Storage, that's up to you. But yeah, these are here. Then we have the critical fuel. This is the fuel level for when the rocket has to return home. And then the fuel level OK is the fuel level it needs to have in the rocket before it's allowed to leave. And then storage limit, it's just to when the storage is full. This we could probably put to 5,000. I actually don't know how much can be in there. I might do a test on that before it returns, go on to the workshop, but for now that's how it is. Now down here you see we have rocket ice miner, rocket ore miner, and rocket scrap miner. You only need one of these. If you have a rocket just for ice, you don't need to think about those two. But if you have one with both ice and ore, you could do both of those. Because down here in this section, I'm using this one. And this one is basically, if there's nothing located here, it will jump to line 464. And same thing here and same thing here. So it will be jumping over this code where it's activating it. The code itself consists of 4 main stages. So prep state, we're preparing, we're emptying, we're refueling, and getting ready to launch. Then when we click launch by hitting the switch, we will go into flight stage where it'll take off and go to somewhere in space. Then when we find some minables or minables or whatever we call them, it will go into mining stage where it'll then activate whatever miner module is active on the rocket. And as you can see, I have not taken consideration to do a gas miner because I still think them being, both useless and also a bit meh. I prefer to have the ice because then I can easily handle it in the afterwards, basically. Now, so after that we'll activate whatever and we'll mine until there's no more minerals left, which is what we're doing here. So if there's ore in area, we'll continue the mining stage. If not, we'll turn the control off and we'll turn the rocket on again, and we'll go to the flight stage. So we'll basically go back up here and repeat. So here we'll then move to a new place in space and repeat the whole process. I'm not going through everything, but that's basically how it is. Then if we have the switch on, the switch is off, or the come home, so anything that needs to make sure it comes home, we'll go to return state, which basically sends the rocket home. The come home comes from our IO update area, where we have if the fuel is low, if our storage is full, then we will return home. So yeah, that's the code. Now that we have cleared that out, we will start to build them. So we will take our launch pad. See, he's a big boy. He's a 3x3. I've made 3 holes, and we can fit him in here nicely. Now, he is very expensive. Very expensive. And I could take the welder, pop in steel sheets, and pop in the plastic, and pop in the electronics, but I am on a test branch. It's creative mode, so I'll take my wand. Now the next thing you want to do, now that this one is fully built, is you take your engine, you right click on him, and you see he can fit multiple ways. You want them to be aligned to this section here. Let me just put on slicer. This section here, where everything will be aligned towards. Even though it is green everywhere else, you don't want him to be facing anywhere else, otherwise it'll not really work that well. So let's pop it down here. And there he is, fully built. The next thing is a fuel tank. Same thing. This one will not go into other green areas, but it will have the same structure as you can see on the left there. So now that we have built the fuel tank, we can also finish that off. And he will look like this. This point here is where we'll put in the fuel for the fuel tank. So this is the only place we need to put in a pipe. Now, you can now choose whatever you want up there. So we want a silo, we want a coupling, and we want a silo. Let's just give it that. We want a silo. Like so, like so. Coupling, silo, yes. And then we want an ore miner. Because why not? Let's make an ore miner first. Or make a scrap. No, let's make it ore first. And then from that we need the automation. And when these 4 has been attached to this rocket, he is complete. Now, which order these goes in, except the coupling and the automation, is up to you. You can take the silo module, put it on top, and then put the coupler now next, and then the ore mining. Or you can do the ore mining now, but it all depends on you, depending on how you're going to be in your base. In this case, we don't want to go too high with our chutes, so we can go up with our silo first. Pop them in. Grab a coupling. Let's just build him first, because he... There we are. Now, a coupling, as you can see, has this little arrow. I can't point at it, but it's right in front of me, pointing down. You want this to be pointing towards the silo. So in this case, like so. So see, he's pointing down. It's basically which way the chute is going. So let's take the ore mining, place him there, turn him on, and there we have him. Next thing, we take our control automation and build him there. As you can see, this thing just looks like a peak at the top of a building. It doesn't have any sort of interaction with you except here. Here you could use an IC chip. We're not going to, because why? No, don't want that. But that is technically it in terms of building a rocket. Now we want to power this thing up. So for this we need some cables. Again, I use my creative mode here, but cable, and so every single unit needs power. So just go in here and then power everything up. So there we are. The entire rocket is now connected to power. We have controls on the control module, the mining module, the storage module, but not the fuel or the launch pad. And the reason for that is the launch pad we don't need any information from. The fuel level we get from the automation. So those 2 we can leave out. We save like three pieces of cable or something like that. But yeah, just it's up to you. It's a matter of preferences. It's a matter of preferences if you want to have this connected as well. Now from here on, we of course have the power line. And then what we need now is a way to fill this with fuel on this section. Up there, here you have a chute, straight connected to your chute in your system, and then whatever comes out from this rocket will go into here. And for now, we are just going to leave it as is, because we don't need it right now. What we need is a mixer. So we pop, let's say we pop down a mixer here. Let's see, we pop in like so. What we then need for this mixer is we need a setup where we have some volatiles and some oxygen going into this mixer. We want oxygen to go in input number 1 and volatile to go into input number 2. We don't need to set it. The system over here will automatically set the mixer here. So it will set to 33. That means number 1 will be 33. And number 1 is here. See? Input 2. And we want 33% of oxygen. So let's pop in some of these. Let's set up a bit of oxygen and volatile and connect to the system. So now that we have all the fuel done, we have connected to the gas mixer and into the rocket. We will technically be ready to launch him. We just need to control him. So we are using this. This is of course our IC housing, which we're using for this particular rocket. We also have our LEDs. We have 4 of them. We don't need these. You can leave them out if you want to, but we will have them in this build. We also have a switch to turn on and off if you want him on and off. And this one is pretty important because when he's open, he will remain home, or he'll try to be home. If he's closed, he will be off somewhere. That is at least the plan. So now let's first start to name stuff. And we want to do the control first. So we want to do rocket or control. Wow. Control. We want to grab the ore because this will call everyone. Next one we'll do is the mining module, so we're just gonna call it rocket ore mining. Mining. And that's the silo. Rocket ore silo. Done. The rest we don't need. Then we have rocket ore mixer. We need a cable here, I can see. Mixer. We have rocket ore mode. We don't need LED. Rocket ore fuel. Rocket ore storage. And rocket ore minables. Rocket ore switch. And rocket ore IC. Done. Great. Let's pop in there. Let's grab him. Let's finish this. Okay, so now that we have named everything, turn these 4 on, of course. And we want to turn him on. Wanna just be sure we have the right one selected here. Export. And he'll be in error, which is expected. We'll go. Turn on slide so we can see what we're doing. Here we select rocket control. So rocket ore control. He was right there. So we don't have an ice mining here. We have ore mining here. So rocket control mining. We don't have a scrap. We don't have anything here at all. And then we have a switch. Now, see, all of these are empty because nothing's happening. So now that we have these set correctly and these are named, the last thing we have left is to go in here and to adjust. Oh, let's go up again. To adjust these texts. So here we will be writing rocket ore mixer, rocket ore storage, and I think I called it silo, rocket ore mode, rocket ore fuel, rocket ore storage, and rocket ore minables. Done. Export. And let's see, he should start doing something now. And he does. So this means that we're getting fuel. You see him? He is now set to 33 and 67. Lovely. That's good. When we have 2500, he will be able to launch. So when this one is 2500, it goes pretty quickly when we have this system. So now that we can see that we are approaching the level, we're now at 2533. Our mixer has turned off automatically because the 2500 is our limit. And the rest is what is remaining in the pipe. So now we can actually just hit the switch and he will take off. So be prepared for some noise. And off he goes. Now you can see he's in flight mode. He has found some minables. Soon this will start changing to see that we can actually, yeah, there we are. He's not collecting. When this one reaches 50, he will be coming back. And then when he reaches 50, this one will decrease by 500 because that's the requirement to return. If this one reaches the low limit amount before, he will return before that. We can also click on this one again and he will return as well. So let's just see what happens. And there we are, we have reached the 50, and soon we should see a drop in this. This one goes to 5, and he'll return. Let's see what happens. There we are, there he is. Touchdown. Now, now he'll hook up, and we'll start to unload all his stuff. And make a mess. Yeah. Big mess. So of course you would normally have a chute up there to take care of all this stuff. I don't have that, so I have this problem. So now that you have seen how a rocket ship will work, we will make 2 more. I'll make these 2 quickly off camera and you can see them in action. And we will fly them off as well. So as you can see, on this one we have now 2 miners. We have a silo here. Here we have a scrap. Here we have an ore. And they will still be working on the same icy tip. So the same one for all 3 of them. We'll be doing everything. Let's just turn these 2 on. And let's transfer some code to them. Oh, I have to clean up this mess. So for the ice, let's go to here. Export. Edit. Here we just write ice on all of them. Like so, like so, like so. Transfer. Then we go to the scrap. Go in again. Scrap. So quite easy to work with, I would say. Quite easy. Export that one. Let's go see if there's any mistakes on this one. It's this one. And of course there will be, because we haven't set these ones yet. Let's turn him on. Turn him off. Let's go in here and we find the rocket control. So ice rocket control. Here we want to find ice miner. Ice mining. And we don't have anything there. We don't have anything here. We have something here. So ice switch. That's the wrong one. Did I call you that? Ice switch, yeah. And there we are, the last one, obviously. Turn it on, and he's happy. He is charging. And yes, fuel going in, lovely. Let's go to the last one. So this one, as you of course can see, is different because we have that last one. So we have to add 2 here, 2 instead of just 1 minus. So let's find the scrap control. Scrap control is there. Then we want to find the scrap mining. The scrap ore mining. Yeah. And here we want to find the scrap salvage. There we are. Did I call him that? What did I call you? Oh, yeah, okay. Lovely. And we want the last one, which is the switch. And scrap switch. And he's off the races. Lovely. So let's go down here. So this one we want to call back because we don't want too much ice. So let's just click here. Here we go to 2, and we'll go to 5 afterwards. Come on. There we are. It takes a bit of time, but yeah, he will be coming. So now we should see him. There he is. Let's go back. And he connects. And connect. Come on. Connect. There we are. Ice. Ice for the people. Yes. All lots of nice ice, but it's all pure. No, it's not. It's just normal ice. Good. Lovely. That's what I see. Now let's see what we have here. He should be on the way back. And there he is. Awesome. So this one should have ore and scrap. Ore and scrap written back. Let's see what he creates. Yeah, there we are. Junk and ore for the people. And some of it is broken. Well, that's just nice. Scrap for the people. Some of it, like this one, can be used, but most of it is trash. So here we have a wrecked vending machine, for example. And we have a speaker. But yeah, that is pretty much how they operate, how they work, how they function, how they fly. And yes, let's get the last one back. Lovely, lovely. And as you can see, you can hear on here, as soon as you get back, he will start to fill up, and this one will start to empty, like you see that. It all happens automatically. So you could technically leave this one on, and he just flies back and forth, until nothing happens. But that is technically my take on a rocket setup. It's, I personally find it's very easy to use, compared to Amy, for example, and they are also pretty cheap to maintain. Not to build, but to maintain. And you can easily extend, so you can see this one, I could easily add more rockets to this one, but yeah, I don't want to. I want them to be whatever I want to. But that is all I have for the rockets. Pretty simple to use. If you code them yourself, it's also pretty simple to do. Or if you take whatever code you want, easy to do as well. My code will be available when this video goes live on the Steam Workshop. There will be a link in the description for it, and there will also be a link on the workshop to this video, so you can see how it is working. But as you know, the only thing you need of all these is the switch. The other three you don't need. You can have them, but you don't need them in case of power saving or whatever. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye for now.